The First Testament of Arcanus and Veritas.
Symphonie numéro 1.
Segment sinfonique. D. Tema del segmento: alzarsi, get up. Tonica principale del capitolo: Fa F. Progressione musicale principale del capitolo: ciclo diminuito cromatico minore. Suite sinfonico D. 2 fantasia, andante sostenuto e curioso, le parole di nessuno, L. muri contro la libertà.
Compositional form, chapter, natural 6. Traditional form, chapter 4. Slaughtering sacred cows. Arcanus called out across the bustling courtyard, his voice a clarion in the dusk, drawing Samuel's attention from the shadows, where he lingered in hesitation.
Samuel.
Arcanus greeted with a broad grin, spreading his arms as if to welcome an old friend.
You found us. Are we what you expected?
Are you part of my vision?
Samuel asked, stepping forward but with a note of caution coloring his curiosity. The atmosphere around the two magicians was thick with an unspoken mystique.
Indeed, acts like ours, even in your so-called enlightened time, can still get us potentially burned at the stake, let alone your vision. Looks like it has placed us nearly 2,000 years prior to your time. For in this place, at this time in history, some of these people have so much desert heat on them, they may just as well marry a cow. However, in your subconscious, anything can happen, which allows us to break a few rules.
Arcanus replied with a nod, his eyes twinkling with undisclosed knowledge. Behind them, Veritas appeared to be walking side by side with a cow, placing it behind a curtain, its head and tail still visible, as well as the udder.
But our journey isn't complete. Speaking of cows, we're about to kill some sacred cows ourselves. So, are you a vegan, or are you a normal person?
Arcanus said with mischief, then added,
Care for some sacred hamburgers?
Veritas then proceeded to pull out a long, ornate knife, the knife's glimmer catching the last rays of the setting sun. As he approached the cow, Veritas, now behind the curtain, raised his hand. The crowd gasped as only his hand and the knife could be seen behind the curtain. Veritas then appeared to stab with theatrical precision as the cow appeared to move. However, a collective breath of relief came from the gathered crowd as the curtain fell and Veritas could be seen cutting a tightly wound barrel of hay to give to the cow. Arcanus continued,
The sacred cows of society. Stubborn beliefs and myths that bind us.
Then he paused and said,
But don't worry if you wanted that burger.
Arcanus laughed.
The actual butchering is happening in the barn. I'm sure just knowing some cow is being slaughtered, even in text format, will piss off an animal rights activist anyway.
Samuel furrowed his brow, absorbing the spectacle.
Do these illusions bring clarity?
He inquired. Arcanus stepped closer, placing a reassuring hand on Samuel's shoulder. His towering height made Samuel feel small. Then Arcanus said,
To gain enlightenment, one must first understand the nature of humanity, and sometimes to see, we must first unsee the falsehoods that blind us. For to know the nature of man is one step towards knowing ourselves. True liberty,
Arcanus continued, his voice low and compelling,
requires recognizing the thin line between conviction and tyranny. The freedom you seek is shackled by these very beliefs we symbolically destroy today. You got quite an angry group of normies back home, and you seek something that hasn't been done in history, leading a revolution into a society based on an idea, namely liberty, without leading them into further tyranny antithetical to your idea. This is why you're in this loop. Your heart's in the right place, but you're self-conscious about your ability to lead them, concerned you might cause undue deaths, or worse, you might become the tyrant yourself.
As Arcanus spoke with Samuel, Veritas could be seen heading to the fish tank full of live goldfish. From their previous act, Arcanus added,
Once you understand human nature, its depths and its shallows, it becomes frighteningly easy to manipulate. And once someone has power, it becomes frighteningly easy to become corrupt for fear of losing that power.
Samuel shifted uncomfortably on his feet.
Did you really steal a nobleman's money?
He asked, looking between the goldfish and Arcanus. Arcanus chuckled lightly, a sound that seemed to carry a hidden weight.
No, but maybe we borrowed his goldfish.
He quipped, eyes glinting with mirth. Veritas, following the cue, dipped his hand into the tank, and with a quick snatch grabbed a goldfish. Yet, as soon as his hand came out of the water, the goldfish turned back into a coin.
Perceptions are fragile.
Arcanus cautioned with a final, serious tone.
Don't let them lead you astray. Remember, what you see isn't always what is true.
With Arcanus's final words of caution stated, Veritas flicked the wet coin expertly towards Samuel. The coin's spin seemed to slow time down, as Samuel's attention was drawn to catching the coin. Once caught, Samuel examined its weight and shimmer, the metal cool, wet, and heavy in his palm. Then he noticed the text on the side of the coin read,
Nullus in verba.
As Samuel continued to inspect the coin, turning it over in his fingers, he noticed the other side also contained text. Yet before he could read it, the world around him began to dissolve into shadows.